Hi lovelies, this is Blossom. So today I have a new tarot spread for you and I call it the Wild Path spread. So this spread is a bit of a follow-up of my Embrace Your Wild Self tarot spread, but it focuses on different areas. So maybe you're interested in this as well. If you did this spread, yeah, maybe I'm going to link it for you. So you can see this is a 7-card spread. I read with Tarot and Oracle together. I will bring the cards closer, you know, this is just how, then you see how it's done. Now, why did I always want to explain a bit how I came to the spread. Taking the wild path may mean different things to different people. For example, one reason I created this spread is for me right now it is very important to unplug, to take a step back from social media, for example, in general, not to be so fixated on like constantly creating, coming back to my own untamed self. So this is, for example, one reason. So there, I have to say I don't, I will have to make it a bit shorter. There are other reasons for that wild path spread other than just to unplug. So, however, why I wanted to do this spread is that I am taking a new approach to my own spiritual journey. And so it is also about finding the courage to step into the unknown. Now, what I mean by that, when I'm talking about taking a new approach, so and to bring that in connection with this spread, it's about really just trusting my own feelings. We talk about that all the time. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, you know, especially as a tarot card reader or you know, in a whole pagan or spiritual or new age community. But it is difficult to do because you are very influenced all the time. Every day there are new ideas out there, like in the spiritual communities, and to let all those influences, all the ideas, and it doesn't matter if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but just to leave everything aside and just focus on my wild part of the soul. And this wild part is quite wise and I can truly trust it. So that's what this is all about. Now, I just start with the positions now. I bring the card forward. So I read with the Tarot of the She and the Fairy Forest Oracle. I do like to do that, you know, to have both aspects, especially if it's a reading that is, you know, so important to me. So the first card, the question is, how does my mind affect my wild self? And what I get here from the Lovers card is that when it comes to my mind, to my thoughts, that somehow I'm not fully committed to the wild path yet. And this has to do with that I still have some work to do, or I feel that I still have some work to do before I can fully allow myself to take a step back. The important message for me here is that I need to learn to unify mind, body and spirit. And I think, to be honest, I think that the way that how I ask the question, because the next card, you know, you don't know that. The next card is about how do my feelings affect my wild self. So already the separation of mind and feelings may not be right. You know, I may have already like kind of asked the wrong question. I separate those things instead of unifying them already. So with the Oracle card, I feel it tells me that I'm too earnest in my mind. And so yeah, that is spot on. In order to walk the wild path, I need to lighten up and take a more light-hearted approach. That doesn't mean not to be serious or anything, but it's too head heavy, I guess, how I do it. I cannot think, I must remind myself that it's not just another task to do, but I need to find back the joy it will bring me. If I allow my mind to calm down, I will find that bliss again that I've experienced it already so many times before when I took the path to the wild a bit more. Yeah, so that's what I say about those cards. Question number 2. How do my feelings affect my wild self? And there we have the Dreamer 6, which would be the 6 of Swords and the Weaver. So when it comes to my feelings, there's a very strong sense for the need to find myself again. As for some time now, I always felt a bit like I'm just like floating, where I just need to function. And the part of my life where I wanted to dive deeper into the mysteries of life has been a bit neglected by myself. So it shows me also the strong pull to go away for a while, which is not long anymore. Then I actually will go away for just a couple of weeks. But yeah, so this makes completely sense. And I also will actually take a ship and cross the waters to take a vacation. So that's cool. Otherwise, when I see the owl in the front, it tells me that it will lead me the way to the voyage to my inner wisdom. Now, for the Oracle card, it shows me the urge of my feelings that I have to find my own place in this web of my own small life, you know, in the small picture, but also to find my place in the bigger picture of the universe. So how much of an impact do I actually leave in this world, if any at all? So this might be some things and questions I need to explore a bit more, because you ask yourself that, how much impact do I actually leave, you know? Does it make a difference if I'm there or not? So on the smaller scale, like in my own little family, it would make an impact, but on the bigger picture, does it make it? Do I have an impact on anybody? I don't know. So maybe ponder a bit about these questions. So let's move on to the next cards. The first step to take on the path of the wild. And there I have the Dancer 4 and the Fairy Norn. So this card is really no surprise at all. So the first step I need to take is to leave the muddy waters that may have brought some confusion. But also it feels like I have been dwelling in something like a spiritual comfort zone, if that makes sense to you, where you stay because it is something you know, and it's of course it's easier to stay there than to go somewhere unfamiliar. So for too long, feelings and thoughts have circled around the same themes in my life, and there was no going forward. There's definitely that sense of stagnation, and also the need to go back to the things that truly matters to me, other than pushing through things where I think I need to do, but do not bring me the satisfaction I long for. So first step, out of the muddy waters. However, together with the Oracle card, I also get the message that there is no need to push this step with full force, if you know what I mean. But this is alright, because it is okay now to take little steps and to follow a more gentle and quiet approach to plan the things I need to do. I don't need to shout out everything into the world, and I think that is an important message to me. I don't have to go around now and tell everybody, oh, this is now my new path or anything. It's something I probably may do more in private and with a bit more careful consideration, I'm not saying about overthinking again, but you know, little steps. It's more a work from the background. So I should know that also I have the tools I need to create the world anew, and also that now is the moment to connect and communicate with my allies to plan the coming time, and whoever my allies are, you know, I keep that for myself now. Let's move to the next card. The obstacles I may encounter on the path of the wild. Very interesting. So there we have the Dancer 8 and also the Yule Singer. So that's an interesting combination. So to truly follow through the idea of leaving the routine from the Four of Cups before, and to finally stepping out of the muddy waters, that seems to be the obstacle here, as I mentioned already. It is still a comfort zone that I have to leave, and this is always tricky, you know. Maybe the comfort zone, you know, it does not completely fulfill me, but it's not bad, you know, there's nothing bad happening. So it's very easy to fall back into your old patterns. What I have to keep in mind is that I do this to find a higher purpose in my life. I have to acknowledge that my light needs to shine just as much to inspire others as myself. And this is very important, I think. I did cover definitely up the light. And this will always, you know, I have to keep remind me. But as we see in the card here, if I'm able to step out, a life with more color and magic will await me. We see that so clearly there. Now, for the Oracle card, it reminds me again to find joy in the whole process. Again, we have the theme of finding joy in it, to see it as an opportunity for a new beginning, and that my inner light can be rebirthed if I let it happen. So this is something I have to remind myself over and over and over again. Keep those cards also in mind, and yeah, I guess that's, yeah. Now let's go to the other ones. This is number 5, blessings I receive on the path of the wild. And then we have the Chariot, and Astral. So the blessing on this path is that if I bring all aspects of myself, mind, body, spirit, light and dark, together into my heart center, I will gain the power to move forward in life more effortlessly. So as some of you, if you have the Tarot of the Sheet, you know with the great glyph that this is the key to enter the card. This is the portal to enter the card, the great glyph, and we have that definitely in the heart center. It also tells me that I will find the courage to open myself fully and truly let my heart speak in all actions I will take in the future. And really finding the pure power of my heart energy. And the heart is so important because my mind mostly overrules my heart. So it's so important to enter, you know, the blessing here, that the heart is the portal. That's so, I find that really cool. So the Oracle card suggests that there will be more passion, more power, a very fiery energy, and the desire to live my life fully and truthfully. It also gives me a sense that my creativity will easily pour out of me, and that in future projects, that my future projects will benefit from this creative fire. And I have so many creative projects right now, and yeah, I love that. So let's go to card number 6, and here the question is the best way to nurture my wild self. And then we have Judgment and the Maybun, and I did that wrong, sorry. There we go, that's better. So the best way to nurture it is to just heed the calling, to answer it and follow my life purpose. The call is just so present right now. Acknowledge the opportunity. It's time now for me to acknowledge the opportunity that is given to me. What is also interesting in this card is the position of the great glyph again here. And it represents the basic needs of life, a sense of survival, taking care of the body, enjoying I always get the sense of enjoying the simplicity of life, you know. Those are the things I should nurture, the things that my wild self is longing for. This is a time where I should not look back anymore. Even she looks back, you know, she looks back at us. Why are you always looking? That's just how I feel about it, all right? I don't go too traditionally. So she looks and she reminds me, just look in front. See what is there you see all, you know, all those beings. You see a lot of beings calling. You know, you see them here and there and there and there, and all the colors around. So just look in front of you. So really that call is loud and clear, and from so many different places. And this, yeah, that's how I nurture it. But just answer it. So the Oracle card, the Mayborn, it suggests a similar meaning with a light that will be rebirth. So another way to nurture my wild self is to stay focused on the future and feed it with hope, faith, and most importantly with trust. That just really that trust in life, trust in myself. And I have to admit that it's a step that I took already. And then there are those subtle changes. It's nothing big, but something, you know, it gets better. You know, it's just more the basic need to trust and to have faith. I don't know how to explain that now. Doesn't matter. Now let's go to the next card. So here the question is advice to stay true on the path of the wild. And there I have the Maker. So this would be the Ace of Pentacles and the Life Bringer. That's such a cool combination. I love that. The best way to stay true on my path is to keep working with, for me right now, is keep working with earth energy, as it keeps me grounded, because I tend to fly off. And as I said already, I tend to be somebody who overthinks a lot, who can get very intellectual. But here it's really about the earth energy, and also I have to know that my own magic comes from deep within the earth. And then it also reminds me, because that's what I see in me, those trees. So to connect with the trees, and also to lose myself and find myself again in the forest, if that makes sense to you. It does to me, you know, to get somehow lost in it, and then you are able to find yourself. It just makes sense to me, but I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else. Now, let the wisdom of the tree grow within myself. The Oracle card indicates that in order to stay true on my path, I have to take care of my feminine needs. This is interesting because, yeah, I tend to neglect that part a bit of myself, you know, that very feminine energy, because I'm so much more drawn to male energy. Somehow I also kind of work much more with male deities. It's so much easier for me to work with masculine energy than to work with feminine energy. So this is interesting as well. And yeah, maybe I need a change of perspective in that as well. I also need to surround myself with things that are alive, with things that are able to grow and to thrive. So this could be plants and trees, of course, but also again the creative projects that I've started. So it's time now to bring life in them and let them grow and let them take over for now. This is a time where my own wild self wants to do that. So in just simply put, invite and embrace the things that give you a sense of fulfillment in your life, and know you can start over at any time. You just have to make the decision to do so. Yeah, so I really like this reading. I also have a blog post about it if you prefer to read it. I should have mentioned that maybe at the beginning. Because I tend to prefer to read spreads. I don't know why. To read readings. Or even watch the video, but also have the opportunity later to read it again, you know, especially if I want to do it myself. I do like that, so that's why I have a blog post. I will put the link below so you can find that. And I hope that this spread may help you on your wild path, if you are on it, maybe. if you want to do this reading for yourself and you want to share it, I would love to see it. So hashtag Wild Path Tarot Spread. I'm really curious to see how others people approach to it is, because as I say, for many people that can mean different things and there is no right or wrong here. So thank you very much for your patience and for watching if you're still here. Much love and many blessings, and bye bye.